Science and technology are constantly advancing, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible and opening up new possibilities for innovation and discovery. From gene editing to quantum computing to space exploration, these fields require collaboration between researchers from different disciplines and sectors. Astronomy is a fascinating field that allows us to explore the mysteries of the universe, from the origins of stars and galaxies to the search for extraterrestrial life. It requires advanced technology such as telescopes and spacecraft, as well as interdisciplinary collaboration between scientists from different fields. Climate change is not a distant threat but a present reality that is already affecting communities around the world through rising temperatures and extreme weather events. Climate change is caused by human activities such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and agriculture. Its impacts include more frequent heat waves, droughts, floods, and storms that can damage infrastructure, harm ecosystems, and cause loss of life. Deforestation of the Amazon rainforest contributes significantly to climate change, affecting the local ecosystem and the entire planet. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, regulating the Earth's climate. When forests are destroyed, this carbon is released into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming and climate change. One of the strangest things about tickling is that it's pretty much impossible for a person to tickle himself or herself. The reason you can't tickle yourself is that when you move a part of your own body, a part of your brain monitors the movement and anticipates the sensations that it will cause. The networks of roots that plants use to absorb water and nutrients can encompass a space larger than the part of the plant visible above ground. The nature of these root systems can help plants adapt to challenging environments such as deserts. The idea behind recycling is simple. By breaking old products down and converting them into something usable again, we conserve natural resources. Sadly, it's not that simple. Recycling is deeply entwined with our economic system, and right now doesn't make much economic sense. It often costs more to recycle than it does to just throw things away, which is bad news for the environment. A common way of permitting others to use an intellectual property right is to give express permission for it. This can be done in return for financial remuneration. In such cases, the holder of an intellectual property right is often referred to as granting a license to use what the holder otherwise has exclusive rights to, subject to certain conditions. Income inequality, a measure of how unevenly income is distributed through a population, has long been associated with a host of health and social problems including mental health issues, lack of trust, higher rates of imprisonment, and lower rates of social mobility. It may also affect academic achievement through various routes. Rites of passage are one deep avenue to experience this love in our bones. Once realized, the care for the earth, the connection and experience of nature, and our part and place in the whole, will inform our future, our care for all of life. Without this care and a true understanding of interdependence, our actions and lives may well be fragmented, divisive, and destructive.
Scientists have recommended actions the government of Madagascar's recently elected president, Andry Rajoelina, should take to turn around the precipitous decline of biodiversity and help put Madagascar on a trajectory towards sustainable growth. Madagascar's protected areas, some of the most important for biodiversity in the world, have suffered terribly in recent years from illegal mining, logging, and collection of threatened species for the pet trade.
Foam-filled furniture is very dangerous if it catches fire, and foam quickly produces a high temperature, thick smoke, and poisonous gases, including carbon monoxide. Therefore, set levels of fire resistance have been established for new and second-hand upholstered furniture and other similar products.
The maximum yield of plants determined by their genetic potential, is seldom achieved because factors such as insufficient water or nutrients, adverse climate conditions, plant diseases, and insect damage will limit growth at some stage. Plants subjected to these biotic and abiotic constraints are said to be stressed.
Perhaps the most measurable benefit of the program has been the opportunity to meet in small groups, something that is difficult to arrange such a desperate organization. Many officers would have to work together for 30 years but would not know others' strengths and weaknesses. The English Revolution has been interpreted in several ways by historians, as a fight between the aristocratic Cavaliers, who were open to life, and the serious Puritans, as a battle for power between Parliament and the monarchy over the rights of Englishmen that had been going on for centuries, and as a class war similar to the French Revolution, of which it was a forerunner. In a new study of childhood mortality rates between 1961 and 2010 in the United States and 19 economically similar countries, researchers report that while there's been overall improvement among all the countries, the U.S. has been slowest to improve. Infants in the U.S. were 76% more likely to die.
At the beginning of each fiscal year, funds are allocated to each state account in accordance with the university's financial plan. Funds are allocated to each account by objects of expenditure. Account managers are responsible for ensuring that adequate funds are available in the appropriate object before initiating transactions to use the funds.
The student's reading in his own subject slows down, and his comprehension becomes less secure. He expresses himself slowly and often fails to convey his ideas exactly. He is disappointed to find that under pressure he makes a lot of unnecessary mistakes in areas where he knows the correct language forms. A smoking ban is a public policy that includes criminal laws and health regulations that prohibit smoking in certain public places and workspaces. There are varying definitions of smoking employed in this legislation. The strictest definitions define smoking as being the inhalation of any tobacco substance, while the loosest define smoking as possessing any lit tobacco product. Yellow is considered as the most optimistic color. Yet surprisingly, people lose their tempers more often in yellow rooms, and babies cry more in them. The reason may be that yellow is the hardest color for eyes to take in, so it can be overpowering if overused. Lincoln's apparently radical change of mind about his war power to emancipate slaves was caused by the escalating scope of war, which convinced him that any measure to weaken the Confederacy and strengthen the Union war effort was justifiable as a military necessity.